Hello guys! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into the latest twists and turns from Port Charles, where secrets unravel, tough choices loom, and revelations hit hard for our favorite characters. In the heart of the drama unfolding on Thursday, July 31st, viewers can expect a whirlwind of emotional confrontations and pivotal moments that could reshape relationships forever. From heartfelt admissions that expose hidden regrets to decisions that test family loyalties and awakenings that force characters to face uncomfortable truths. This episode promises to keep fans on the edge of their seats. Imagine the tension building as old wounds resurface and new alliances form in unexpected ways. All set against the familiar backdrop of Port Charles' bustling spots like the Metro Court Pool and cozy family homes. We've got true confessions from unlikely sources, massive decisions that could alter custody battles, and eyes finally opening to the harsh realities of betrayal and manipulation. Let's break it down step by step, exploring how these developments might play out with fresh insights into the characters' motivations and potential fallout. Starting with a mother-daughter moment that's sure to spark debate, Laura Collins steps in with some sage wisdom for her daughter, Lulu Spencer, during this episode. Laura, ever the voice of reason with her years of experience navigating Port Charles chaos, firmly warns Lulu that she's heading down a dangerous path and making what could be a catastrophic error in judgment. Picture Lulu's face in the preview clip, a mix of frustration and disbelief, as if she's questioning whether her own mother has completely misunderstood the situation. Could this advice stem from Lulu's stubborn refusal to let her son, Rocco Falconeri, discuss his lingering questions about Britt Westburn? After all, Britt's complicated history with the Falconeri family, including her past schemes and tragic end, has left Rocco curious and perhaps even haunted by unanswered queries. Laura might be urging Lulu to loosen her grip, suggesting that suppressing Rocco's inquiries could lead to resentment or emotional distance in the long run. Or perhaps it's tied to another bold move Lulu is pursuing, like delving deeper into investigative journalism that puts her at odds with powerful figures in town. Inventing a new layer here, maybe Laura draws from her own past mistakes, recalling how her secrecy during the Casadini family feuds nearly cost her everything, emphasizing that honesty with loved ones is key to avoiding isolation. This conversation could plant seeds for Lulu to reconsider her approach, potentially leading to a heartfelt reconciliation or even Rocco opening up in ways that strengthen their bond. But only if Lulu heeds the warning before it's too late. Shifting to the sun-drenched Metro Court Pool, where summer vibes mix with simmering tensions. Kai Taylor makes a bold and vulnerable confession to Jocelyn Jacks that flips the script on recent heartbreaks, approaching Jocelyn with a sincerity rarely seen from the ambitious young man. Kai admits outright that she wasn't the one who torpedoed his relationship with Trina Robinson. He was the architect of its downfall all by himself. Delving deeper into this revelation, Kai explains how his blind faith in Drew Kane led him to betray Trina's parents by sharing sensitive information, essentially choosing ambition over loyalty and shattering Trina's trust in the process. To add a fresh twist, perhaps Kai reveals a previously unspoken detail. He had overheard a private conversation between Trina's parents about their past struggles, and in his eagerness to impress Drew, he leaked it without considering the emotional wreckage. Trina, known for her fierce protectiveness toward her family, views this as the ultimate act of disloyalty, one that echoes the betrayals she's endured from others in Port Charles. Like the Esme Prince saga that nearly destroyed her life, Kai's confession might include a moment of reflection on his own upbringing, where he learned to prioritize success at all costs, but now realizes it cost him the one person who truly saw his potential for good. Jocelyn, caught off guard, could respond with empathy mixed with caution, warning Kai that redemption won't come easy in a town where grudges linger like shadows. This scene not only humanizes Kai, but also sets the stage for possible forgiveness arcs, though Trina's unforgiving stance suggests a long road ahead, perhaps involving interventions from friends like Jocelyn to bridge the gap. Meanwhile, over at the Spencer house, Drew Kane finds himself in a tense exchange with Michael Corinthos, highlighting a big decision that could ripple through the Corinthos family dynamics. Drew, ever the persistent figure with his polished charm masking deeper ambitions, is likely pleading his case to Michael about allowing Willow Tate access to their children. Wiley and Amelia Corinthos, amid the ongoing custody turmoil. Adding inventive depth, Drew might reference a shared memory from their Quartermaine family ties, trying to appeal to Michael's sense of fairness by reminding him of times when they united against common enemies like Sonny Corinthos' rivals. However, Michael stands firm, declaring that he can't afford to take such a risk right now, especially with Willow's recent erratic behavior putting everything in jeopardy. The uncertainty heightens as neither man knows Willow's whereabouts, leaving Drew frustrated and Michael protective. This moment underscores Michael's growth as a father, prioritizing the kid's stability over emotional pleas, and could foreshadow a larger family intervention where Michael consults with Carly Spencer for backup. Inventing a new element, perhaps Michael hints at discovering incriminating evidence about Drew's business dealings that make him even warier, tying back to Drew's political aspirations and how they've entangled personal lives. The big decision here isn't just about visitation. It's about Michael drawing a line to safeguard his family's future, potentially leading to courtroom escalations or surprising alliances if Drew pushes too far. In a more introspective turn at Elizabeth Baldwin's house, Willow Tate finally seems to have her eyes open to the web of influences that have clouded her judgment for so long. After Elizabeth and Rick Lansing discovered her in a vulnerable state at Carly Spencer's doorstep, Willow is now processing the fallout with clearer vision. She confides in Elizabeth that showing up at Carly's the previous night was a colossal misstep, particularly since young Wiley overheard her desperate cries and witnessed the chaos firsthand. To expand on this, Willow might describe the haunting image of Wiley's confused face peering through the door, a detail that amplifies her regret and highlights the innocence at stake. Recognizing that defying a judge's order could backfire spectacularly, not only jeopardizing her own parental rights, but also risking Michael's custody, Willow appears more grounded than she has in months. Elizabeth's relieved expression suggests a turning point, as if she's seeing the old Willow emerge from the fog of Drew's manipulative sway. Inventing additional nuance, perhaps Willow reflects on how Drew's charisma initially drew her in during vulnerable moments after her health scares. But now she sees it as a toxic pattern mirroring past deceptions in Port Charles, like those from Harmony Miller. This awakening could propel Willow toward therapy or reconciliation efforts, focusing on rebuilding her life independently, and might even lead to her seeking Nina Reeves' support in unexpected ways, emphasizing themes of self-discovery and resilience. Finally, near the lively Metro Court pool, Nina Reeves engages in a charged conversation with Rick Lansing. Uttering words that hint at desperate measures, she'd strike a deal with the devil himself if it meant aiding her daughter. This sets up Rick gaining a new client, and if Nina hires him, it could indeed feel like consorting with dark forces given Rick's checkered past. To flesh this out with new details, Nina might confide in Rick about her fears for Willow's mental state, drawing parallels to her own history of loss and manipulation, including the coma that robbed her of years with her children. Rick, no stranger to shady dealings, remember his entanglement with Nina's mother, Madeline Reeves, where he schemed for Nina's fortune while romantically involved with both women. Could offer his legal expertise with a sly grin, promising results, but at what cost? Inventing a fresh angle, perhaps Rick proposes a covert strategy involving anonymous tips to sway the custody judge, tying into his own redemption arc as he navigates his return to Port Charles. The saying "the apple doesn't fall far from the tree" rings true here, as Rick's actions echo familial patterns of deceit, but Nina's determination as a mother might justify the risk in her eyes. This alliance could explode into scandal if exposed, affecting not just Willow's case, but rippling to characters like Sonny Corinthos, who has his own history with Rick. Next, we will explore the brewing tensions in Port Charles as sisterly manipulations and budding romances collide in unexpected ways. Diving into the latest developments on General Hospital, the air is thick with suspicion and hidden agendas, particularly surrounding Christina Corinthos Davis and her calculated efforts to influence her sister Molly Lansing Davis' budding connection with Cody Bell. What started as light-hearted flirtations at the Metro Court pool has now escalated into a potential powder keg, thanks to Christina's sly warnings that are finally taking root in Molly's mind. Imagine the sun-soaked poolside scene where Cody playfully asked Molly to apply sunscreen to his back, a moment that seemed innocent and fun at the time, sparking a genuine spark between them after Molly's painful breakup with TJ Ashford. But Christina, ever the protective yet self-serving sibling, planted seeds of doubt by insisting it was all a calculated ploy for Cody to get physically closer. Perhaps drawing from her own experiences with deceptive charmers in Port Charles, like the manipulative schemes she's encountered in her surrogacy drama. Now, as Molly replays that encounter over and over, her initial dismissal has turned into brooding resentment, setting the stage for a fiery confrontation that could either solidify their chemistry or shatter it completely. To add a fresh layer, perhaps Molly recalls a similar flirty tactic from her past relationships, like subtle advances during her law school days that led to heartbreak, making Christina's words hit even harder and fueling her decision to call Cody out directly. As the drama intensifies, Christina's warnings appear to be more than just sisterly concern. They're a strategic move to derail Molly and Cody's growing bond, all to keep Cody focused on a covert mission Christina has orchestrated. Spoilers hint that Christina is secretly paying Cody to seduce Ava Jerome, aiming to dismantle Ava's blackmail plot involving Rick Lansing, which ties into larger family secrets that could explode if exposed. Picture Christina in a dimly lit corner of the Quartermaine mansion, whispering her cautions to Molly with feigned worrying, while internally calculating how this distraction ensures Cody stays on task with Ava, whose art gallery dealings and past vendettas make her a formidable target. Fans have been vocal about Molly's sudden mood shift from laughter to irritation, questioning if it's an overreaction. But it underscores the deep trust issues stemming from Molly's recent split and the emotional toll of her professional life as a district attorney. Inventing a new element. Maybe Christina sweetens her manipulation by sharing a fabricated story about overhearing Cody boasting to friends about his easy conquests, further eroding Molly's confidence and pushing her toward confrontation. This ploy not only protects Christina's scheme, but also highlights her pattern of controlling those around her, reminiscent of her father's influence in the Corinthos family empire, where loyalty is often enforced through subtle deceptions. The upcoming confrontation between Molly and Cody promises fireworks that could redefine their dynamic and expose underlying truths. Previews show Molly unleashing her frustration on Cody, accusing him of ulterior motives in the sunscreen incident, her temper flaring in a way that might leave her regretting the outburst once the dust settles. Cody, caught completely off guard and oblivious to Christina's behind-the-scenes meddling, may respond with genuine confusion and hurt, defending his intentions as sincere flirtation born from his own lonely history as a stable hand with a troubled past tied to the Quartermaines. To expand this with inventive details, perhaps the showdown happens at the bustling Jerome Gallery, where Cody is subtly advancing his seduction of Ava under Christina's orders, and Molly storms in, her legal mind piecing together clues like overheard phone calls that make her question everything. This moment could ignite not just personal sparks, but also broader repercussions, as Cody's involvement in Christina's plan risks alienating him from potential allies like Sasha Gilmore, who might sympathize with his position but warn him of the dangers. Will Molly's heated words push Cody away for good? Or will a glimmer of honesty from him, maybe admitting his financial struggles that led him to accept Christina's deal, start to mend the rift and redirect her anger toward the real culprit? Amid all this, the possibility of a sisterly showdown looms large, with Molly's growing distress threatening to crush her chance at happiness while unraveling Christina's carefully laid plans. As Molly pieces together the inconsistencies in Christina's warnings, she might confront her sister directly, leading to a heated exchange that exposes the payment to Cody and the scheme against Ava's blackmail, which reportedly involves incriminating evidence related to Alexis Davis' despondent woes. Envision the Davis family home as the battleground, where Molly demands answers, her voice echoing with betrayal as Christina defends her actions as necessary to protect their mother from Ava's clutches. Perhaps revealing a new twist The blackmail includes forged documents that could land Alexis in legal hot water again. This revelation could force Molly to grapple with forgiveness, weighing her sister's intentions against the sabotage of her personal life, and decide if pursuing Cody is worth it once she learns of his agreement to seduce Ava, a task that echoes Cody's own family secrets, like his hidden connection to Max Scorpio. The fallout might extend to Alexis, who's already entangled in the mess, potentially leading to a family intervention where old grievances resurface, such as Christina's past impulsive decisions that strained their bonds. Wrapping up these entangled threads, the impact of Christina's manipulations could ripple far beyond Molly and Cody, affecting the wider Port Charles landscape. If the truth about the seduction plot and blackmail scheme comes to light, it might not only strain the sisters' relationship, but also draw in figures like Sonny Corinthos, whose protective instincts toward Christina could escalate tensions with Ava and Rick. Adding an inventive angle, perhaps Molly discovers a hidden recording of Christina's deal with Cody, hidden in a family heirloom, prompting her to seek advice from allies like Sam McCall, who has her own history of navigating family deceptions. Will Molly forgive Christina's self-interested meddling, especially when it stems from a desire to shield their mother? Or will it irreparably damage their sisterhood? And for Cody, this could be a turning point toward authenticity, shedding his role in the scheme to pursue a real connection with Molly, free from external influences. Next, we will delve into the turbulent aftermath of Willow Tate's shocking choices and whether her fractured marriage to Michael Corinthos can ever be mended in the chaotic world of Port Charles. In the swirling storm of betrayals and heartbreaks that define life in Port Charles, Willow Tate's decision to abandon her marriage to Michael Corinthos for a forbidden affair with Drew Kane stands out as a monumental error that's left fans reeling and questioning the future of this once solid couple. As the initial shockwaves subside, the big question looms: can Michael and Willow rediscover the love that once bound them so tightly, or has the damage proven irreversible? Picture the early days of their romance, filled with tender moments amid Willow's battles with illness and family secrets, contrasting sharply with the current wreckage where trust has been shattered like glass underfoot. Michael, despite the deep wounds inflicted by her actions, harbors lingering emotions for the woman he married, the compassionate teacher and devoted mother who stood by him through corporate wars and personal losses before Drew's influence twisted her path. As the biological mother of their children, Wiley and Amelia, Willow remains an irreplaceable figure in Michael's life, potentially paving the way for forgiveness if she can reclaim her former self. To infuse a fresh perspective, perhaps Michael reflects on a hidden memory from their wedding day, where Willow vowed eternal loyalty during a private sunset vow renewal, reminding him of the purity that once defined her, and stirring a reluctant hope that therapy could bridge the chasm. Delving deeper into Willow's unraveling state, it's clear she's teetering on the edge of a profound emotional collapse, overwhelmed by the cascading consequences of her choices that have stripped away her family and exposed painful truths. The loss of custody over her beloved children, compounded by the devastating revelation of Nina Reeves' secret involvement with Drew, has pushed Willow into what appears to be a full-blown psychotic episode, manifesting in erratic behaviors that scream for professional intervention. Imagine her wandering the foggy docks of Port Charles at night, haunted by visions of happier times with Michael, only to snap back to the harsh reality of isolation and regret, a scene that could play out in upcoming episodes as her mental health spirals. She desperately requires psychological support, perhaps even a form of deprogramming to untangle the manipulative web Drew wove around her vulnerable heart, drawing from her past traumas like the cult upbringing that left lasting scars. Spoilers suggest a stint at Ferncliff Asylum might be on the horizon, a place notorious for its high-stakes recoveries, but also its dangers, where Willow could find solace if shielded from the sinister elements that have plagued patients before, such as rogue staff with hidden agendas. Inventing an additional layer, maybe during her potential stay, Willow uncovers a forgotten journal from her adoptive mother Harmony, revealing parallels to her current breakdown and offering clues to healing, ultimately positioning Michael as the steadfast anchor who visits daily, helping her piece together the fragments of her shattered psyche. On the flip side of this emotional coin, the possibility of reconciliation shines through as Michael emerges as a potential savior in Willow's darkest hour, especially with complicating factors like Sasha Gilmore now removed from the romantic equation. With Sasha stepping back, perhaps due to her own entanglements in the Quartermaine family dramas or a fresh storyline involving her modeling career revival, the path clears for Michael and Willow to tentatively explore rekindling their flame. Stranger twists have unfolded in Port Charles. Think back to resurrections and switched identities that defied all logic, so a reunion isn't out of the realm of possibility if Willow's recovery reignites the spark that first drew them together during her leukemia fight. Envision Michael at her bedside in Ferncliff, sharing stories of Wiley's latest adventures or Amelia's first words. Moments that humanize him and remind Willow of the stable life they built before chaos ensued. Adding inventive depth, Michael might introduce a new family tradition, like planting a memorial tree in the Quartermaine gardens to symbolize fresh starts, subtly wooing Willow back by demonstrating his unwavering commitment as a father and partner, potentially leading to stolen glances and heartfelt confessions that hint at a second chance. However, a stark counterargument arises. Michael's forgiveness might be an impossible bridge to cross, given the litany of betrayals Willow inflicted that have eroded the foundation of their bond beyond repair. How could any man overlook the sting of infidelity with his own uncle, followed by Willow's abrupt departure that tore their family asunder? Compounding the hurt, her attempt to designate Drew as guardian of their children in the event of tragedy feels like the ultimate slap. Prioritizing her lover over the man who raised Wiley as his own from the start. Even more damning, when young Wiley reported overhearing Drew's harsh words in his presence, Willow sided with her boyfriend, dismissing her son's account and deepening the rift. And the revelations keep coming once Michael learns of Willow's alleged scheme to gaslight Sasha by tampering with baby Daisy's care, perhaps through forged medical notes or whispered doubts. It could seal her fate as unforgivable in his eyes. To expand with a new element, imagine Michael stumbling upon incriminating emails on a shared device detailing Willow's manipulations during a heated custody hearing preparation, fueling his resolve to protect the kids from further turmoil and pushing him toward a definitive emotional shutdown. Ultimately, the narrative shifts toward Michael's need to forge ahead without Willow, embracing his role as a resilient single father while opening the door to new romantic horizons in the ever-shifting landscape of Port Charles, historically plagued by romantic misfortunes from ill-fated relationships like the one with Abby Haver to the explosive end with Sabrina Santiago. Michael had found seeming stability with Willow, only for it to crumble spectacularly. Now, as an exemplary dad navigating the kids through this upheaval, with Wiley's innocent questions about Mommy and Amelia's need for consistency, Michael deserves a fresh start unburdened by past pains. The town's revolving door of residents means a perfect match could arrive unexpectedly, perhaps a newcomer with a background in child psychology who bonds with him over shared custody battles, offering the genuine connection Willow once promised but failed to deliver. Inventing a forward-looking twist, maybe Michael crosses paths with a reformed character from his past, like a distant Quartermaine relative returning with wisdom gained from travels abroad, sparking a slow-burn romance that prioritizes family healing over dramatic entanglements. As these conflicting paths for Michael and Willow unfold, the spoilers leave us pondering the fate of this iconic couple. Will forgiveness and recovery pave the way for a triumphant reunion? Or is permanent separation the healthier choice amid the betrayals? What are your thoughts, loyal viewers? Do you root for them to patch things up and rediscover their love? Or believe it's time for both to chart separate courses in the dramatic tapestry of General Hospital?